There was a story in the Financial Times today. Can you believe this? Maybe you've heard of it already. Apparently, moments after Donald Trump began bombing Iran 3 weeks ago almost, do you know the first person he called up to brag and gloat about the ongoing war? Trump presses the button and thousands of airstrikes begin against Iran. And the U.S. and Israel are on their way. We are plunged into this regime change war in Iran. Trump is in Mar-a-Lago announcing the war. He settles back into his home, into his residence, and the first person that he calls to talk about the war is Laura Loomer. Can you believe that? This is in the Financial Times today. He calls Laura Loomer. And I don't know what else you need to see to realize what is going on here. But this is every week. Think about the images that we have seen. Think about these vignettes. Let me create a short film for you. Let me create a movie. Let me create a Picasso painting for you. Let me paint a picture of what we're witnessing. Trump goes to war in Venezuela. Then he goes to war in Iran. Now we're contemplating regime change in Cuba. Trump is on Air Force One, and Lindsey Graham is poking his head out from the corridor saying, Cuba's next. We're going to bomb Cuba next on Air Force One. Fast forward a few days. Trump goes on Truth Social. He sits down for a spell, and he pulls out his phone, and he types up a 1,000-word post glazing Mark Levin. Glazing Mark Levin, doing somersaults and tricks on it, saying how wise he is and courageous and smart and special, and he was chosen for this, and he only cares about America, and everybody needs to leave him alone, and if you don't like him, you're not MAGA, and if you don't like the war in Iran, you're not MAGA. And then today we find out that after the bombs begin falling on Iran, okay, the bombs, let's say it slowly, the United States and Israel begin dropping bombs all over Iran, all over their missiles and nuclear complex, and killing the Ayatollah. Trump is laying in bed, giggling and kicking his feet on the phone with Laura Loomer while she tells him how great he is. You're the greatest president ever, Mr. Trump. You're the greatest president ever. You bombed Iran. That was so courageous. And the people are so... Let me paint a picture. This is your second Trump administration. Meanwhile, on Twitter, you have 40-year-old millennials, you have older Gen Xers, and they live somewhere else in the country, and they've got normie jobs, and they've got a wife and kids, and they are on Twitter reassuring themselves and their little group chats and all their friends that the posters are in control. Hey guys, it's totally okay. Trump isn't a neocon. He didn't sell us out. He's not a puppet of Israel. And even if he is, so what? At least the mass deportations are sort of happening or something.
Yeah, okay, but the people who still say this after 1.5 years of this clown administration, they're just delusional in my opinion, and they are actually part of the problem. And I can understand that some of these people, that they can't see the problem because they are the problem in my opinion. Like, how can you still support this administration who doesn't care about you, who said no more wars, and they're fighting a war now on behalf of another country? We have a clown administration now with a clown president, and you still have so many people who will defend this administration no matter what they do. When are you gonna wake up? And again, I know many people are watching this, they finally woke up already, but for the people who are not awake, when are you gonna wake up? When are you gonna say it's too much? Like the Epstein files, like this war, like how many more disasters do we need before people finally say, all right, this administration is not good for our country? But again, this is just my opinion, but people need to wake up. This administration is a joke.
Meanwhile, a balding 30-year-old millennial, a balding 35-year-old millennial with no bitches and no motion, who is broke, who is living with roommates in a condo in Arlington, is on Twitter with a cartoon Avi telling everybody, Trump is the best to ever do it. The posters are in control. Don't panic. Don't be a panican. It's all going to be okay. This is the saddest movie that has ever been created. This is the most evocative, saddest painting I think that has ever been made. And if that doesn't show you, I could tell you, but I could also just show you. This is the problem. And I said this last night, and I said this in the group chat, and I've been saying this for years. And honestly, I said it perfectly in that tweet, which I reposted on my Telegram yesterday. It's a tweet from October 2025. You think that you're in control. You think that you are on the same team as the Republicans. The Republicans are our guys. That's our team. We all got to get together and support our team. We got to get out there and mobilize and cheer on our team, our representatives in November all the time. But they are not your team. They are not us. We are not them. We're different. They're different. And this coalition, it's a fiction. If there is a coalition, if you are a part of it, you are the most junior partner in it. You have no influence, no leverage, no clout, no pull, and they don't give a shit about you. And that could not be made more apparent by these vignettes, by these scenes, which have played out in just the past few weeks. Who's calling Trump giggling and kicking their feet, happy about what is happening in this administration? It's not Tucker. It's not Alex Jones. It's not Nick Fuentes. It's not Candace Owens. It's not Pat Buchanan. It's not Michelle Malkin. There are real America First patriots, which whether you agree with them 100% or not, whether we all get along or not, there are America First Republicans in the country. And I've just listed a few of them. People like Tucker, people like Candace, people like Michelle, people like Alex Jones. These are real human beings that live in the country, care about America, and these people and their priorities do not matter to this president at all. And these people enjoy no access to the president at all. And even if they do occasionally have an audience with the president, they have no influence over him at all. And they have no influence over the policies. And even if they give their opinions, Trump doesn't care. And if and when or where they break with the president, all Trump does is throw them under the bus. Throws them right under the bus. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, Rand Paul, Tucker Carlson, you name it. If Trump breaks with America First and an America First Republican tells him what's up, if they somehow get an audience or access with him, if they somehow bypass Susie Wiles or the White House or Mar-a-Lago and the coterie of people there, the gatekeepers, then all Trump does is throw them under the bus and sick his own supporters on them. Whereas all of the neocons, whether they supported Trump in 2016 or not, whether they have supported him since J6 or not, whether they really care about him or support America First or not, the most hardcore neocons, the most Israel First Jews, the absolute worst of the worst, the most unlikable people, they seem to enjoy unlimited access, intimate friendship. And if they disagree with the president is apologetic to them. If they're dissatisfied with what they're getting from the president, they show up to Mar-a-Lago, they pound on his desk, they tell him what he needs to do, and he obeys them.
Yeah, that's right, guys. So here you go. Here you have the best president of the United States of America. Your America First president. Like, are you kidding me? It just turns out that he is just a puppet of Mark Levin and Laura Loomer, as we know now. Like, what a joke. How is it even possible that these people who are also loyal to another country, that they are telling our president what he should do? What a joke, what a joke. And this is just another example of many examples why I can't take Donald Trump seriously anymore. He is always acting like he is the king of the world and no one can tell him what to do. And then we have these people telling him exactly what he should do. And the same goes for his biggest donors who are also loyal to another country. And we all know why. What a coincidence that we are also now fighting this war for this country. What a coincidence, right? And this is your America First president. Let that sink in. Donald Trump is a joke. He is a joke, and he could literally be impeached because of this, because he doesn't put America first. He doesn't put Americans first. How is fighting this stupid war now? We are still fighting this war, wasting billions of dollars over there. How is that America first, Mr. No More Wars? You almost started World War III. You are a joke. You lied to us. You lied to this country. Impeach him. I'm done. I'm done.
He does what they say. And he repeatedly and constantly supports them and reaffirms his support for them always. Lindsey Graham endorsed. Mark Levin endorsed. Laura Loomer endorsed. That's the movement, whether you like it or not. And I think a lot of people are just in denial. The Trump of 2026 is not the Trump of 2016. Maybe this guy was always there deep down, certainly a possibility. But in 2015 and 2016, when Trump got up and said, I'm not going to take a side in the Israel-Palestine conflict. Rubio is a puppet of the Adelsons. Maybe that was a facade. Either way, that is different than what we're getting now. And for all these people out there that are still talking about loyalty to the president, you need to really take a good, long, hard look in the mirror. How much dignity and self-respect do you have? Do you love yourself? How can you continue to support somebody that seems to have no allegiance to you, no loyalty to you, no love for you? I see these scenes, like I said, it's literally, it's this True Social post. It's this rumor that Trump actually called Loomer. She didn't call him. Trump called Loomer. I just bombed Iran. Aren't you proud of me? Lindsey Graham sticking his head out in Air Force One. And you go, for all these people that are unpaid cheerleaders for Trump, is Trump calling you on the phone? Mr. Posters are in control. Mr. Don't be a panickin. Mr. Trusting the plan. Fuck it, MAGA hat back on. Is Trump calling you for your advice? Are you friends with Trump? Are you dining with Trump in Mar-a-Lago, having lunch? Do you have influence over him and over the policies? Because if not, why not? It's not because nobody has that kind of influence. Laura Loomer has it, and she's an idiot. She's literally an insane person. Have you ever heard her? Have you ever met her? She literally got 5150'd by her own family. She's a nut job. She's crazy. She has emotional breakdowns constantly in public. Ugly crying, screaming, and yelling. And the president calls her, not you, not Mike Cernovich, not Jack Posobiec, not Andrew Torba, not any of these guys that were shucking and jiving and tap dancing and cooning for Trump, unpaid, well, as far as we know, maybe they were being paid, for years. So it's not like nobody has that influence. It's not like nobody has that kind of clout or pull. You don't. And you know who has it? Mark Levin, Laura Loomer, Fox News. These are the people that, Randy Fine, Lindsey Graham. These are the people that have the ear of the president. And I don't know about you, but if someone else had that kind of influence and I didn't, I'd be pretty pissed. If I was endlessly supporting somebody and using my resources to help that person, and that person was disloyal to me, and then they were friends with people that want me dead, that want my priorities to be forgotten about, I would be in protest. This is like 101. That's like the definition of being a cuck. You, for free. These people go out and support Trump, cheerlead for Trump, everything like that on Twitter, on the campaign, whatever. And he doesn't give a shit about you. He's not talking to you. He's not talking to people that represent you or your interests. And I'm not even talking about me anymore. I've been out of this for a long time. I resigned from the Trump train in 24, basically. But I'm talking about all these other people. And he's sleeping with the enemy. Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, the usual suspects. I would be pissed. So to me, I just don't know what more you need to see there. I went off about this on Telegram. I basically said the same thing. We have been fed this line for years from these influencers, which in my opinion is such a toxic problem. These influencers have told us we are in control. We need to vote for Trump. We need to vote Republican. It's not we. There's no we. There's us and there's you. There's this big Republican club that none of us are in. Susie Wiles is in it. And Stephen Miller is in it. And Mark Levin is in that club. And all these people are in the club. You are not in the club. So you have to act accordingly.
Yeah, this is so true, and I'm so happy that Nick points this out, because more people need to be aware of this. And by the way, they always talk about we indeed. Who do they really mean with we? Because they don't care about us. They probably only mean themselves, their rich friends, their families. Like they don't care about like the average Americans. I'm getting so tired of like always using this word we. Who is we? I want to know this. And by the way, I don't want to make this into like an anti-Trump video or something. Like, always decide for yourself who you're gonna support and who you're gonna vote for, of course. Like, who am I to tell you this? But I want to make this very clear. I also really supported Donald Trump at the beginning. I really thought that he could make a difference for our country, that he was going to be good for our country. Many of us were at this point. They voted for him because they thought he was going to be good for our country. But the problem is now, after 1.5 year time, after all these disasters, if you still support him, yeah, then you are actually wrong, in my opinion. Again, because, of course, you can all make a mistake in the beginning that you really believed in him, that you thought that he was going to make a difference. But now it turned out that he didn't. So if you still support him now after 1.5 year time, or you're just stubborn, or you're just naive, but I just don't understand that you still have so many people now who support him. He doesn't care about you, in my opinion. He doesn't care about the average Americans. Look what he did. He literally betrayed his own base with this meme coin scam. He became a billionaire by stealing money from his own base. Like, let that sink in. How can you still support a guy who does that? But again, this is just my opinion. But I'm getting so tired of all these people. They will defend him no matter what he does.
You have to take a somewhat adversarial posture towards Trump. That doesn't mean uncharitable. It doesn't mean hostile. It doesn't even necessarily mean negative or pessimistic. But if there is a separate entity, if there is this Mar-a-Lago club, if there is this lobbyist administration, whatever you want to call it, oligarch administration, and you are outside of it, you must look out for your own interest as a group. You have to organize, find autonomous leadership, determine your own interests and what is best for you, and act as a separate group. This is what I've been saying for years, because clearly we are not in that club. When they say posters are in control, hey, trust the plan, Trump's looking out for us, you say, what exactly are you or any of us getting out of it? Our type of people, the people that believe the things we believe, they have no access, no influence, no clout, nothing in the court of Donald Trump. And as such, this is why the policies are the way that they are. This is why public opinion was too burdensome to follow through on mass deportations, but not for a war in Iran. And people are left holding the bag, making excuses for Trump, doing apologetics for Trump. Well, it's good enough. Well, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Well, at least we got something. At least it's better than the Democrats. Are the Jews, is Laura Loomer saying, hey, at least it's better than AOC? No, she's enthused. They're excited. Imagine being an Israeli right now. I mean, literally imagine how excited the Israelis are. That's like actually a good thought experiment. Think about how excited you are as an American. Gas prices are up. Mass deportations are over. At the minimum, there's a big question mark. Even if you're in denial and you're a psycho, it's not really happening, right? America's more diverse than ever. We're at war with Iran, which nobody signed up for, nobody wanted. There's no border wall. We're going to lose in 26. We didn't get the Epstein files. We're not getting Make America Healthy Again. Like, we're not getting anything. If you're a white guy in America, you're not enthusiastic. Maybe you're saying, at least it's better than the alternative. Maybe you're saying, hey, at least we're making some progress. Maybe you're saying this is still our best chance at achieving anything. But nobody is saying 2 cheers for Donald Trump. Nobody's saying 3 cheers for Donald Trump. Hip, hip, hooray. Nobody's saying that. People are pretty dejected. And even Trump's biggest supporters have either defected or they are in this unenviable position of having to constantly defend the crap that we have to swallow. If you are Laura Loomer, if you are Mark Levin, imagine being them. Could you be happier? You're watching as Harvard gets shut down because of the pro-Palestine professors and protesters. You're watching as anti-Semites are being deported. You're watching as Thomas Massey is getting brutally attacked every day. You're watching as Trump has finally delivered the war with Iran. And Israel's expanding on all fronts. And their enemies are being slaughtered. Their enemies' leaders are being murdered. I mean, you are as happy as you can be. This is the best case scenario. You're saying, I never thought it would be possible, a war with Iran. This is better than anybody could have ever hoped for. So if you're a white Christian, you're like, well, at least it's not Kamala. At least we're not in a gulag. If you're a Israeli, you're like, this is better than I could have ever dreamed of. I didn't even think this was possible. I couldn't even have imagined that it could be this good. How insane is that? Wasn't the entire movement predicated on the exact opposite? Do you remember in 2016, they used to talk about an enthusiasm gap? They said that Trump has big rallies. Clinton has small rallies. Why? Because people are excited to vote. People are actually enthusiastic. Everybody is so engaged and so tuned in because they're excited about what they're going to get. So they're driving hours and standing in line just to see it. And they're volunteering to work in the administration. For the first time, Americans are optimistic and excited, and they believe in what is possible. They believe that change, real change, is possible and within reach and attainable, and it will happen within our lifetimes. Everyone thought the opposite. Everyone thought that change was impossible, that the system was broken, the system had failed, the American dream was dead. We had squandered everything. That is what the original MAGA movement was about. And for the first time, it was going to be everybody else that was going to have to be disappointed. Everybody else was going to have to make peace with compromise. It was going to be the billionaires and the healthcare companies and the international banks and the lobbyists and the political class and the media and Hollywood and Wall Street and foreign governments. They were going to have to be disappointed that the U.S. was pulling up the drawbridge and bringing the troops home. They were going to be disappointed that we would have huge tariffs and companies would have to reshore industry. They were going to be disappointed that they would have to train Americans to work the jobs and that there'd be a preference on buying from companies that do their manufacturing in America. It was supposed to be everybody else. People that were term limited out of office, bureaucrats, inefficient, that would be fired quickly. And look at how far we've come, where now Americans are instructed to tell themselves, this is good enough. That's what we're being told. How sad is that?
Yeah, that's really sad, but it was probably just too good to be true. We have all been tricked. We have been tricked by people who promised that they would be good for us, but it just turns out again that it was all a lie, And then do you know how many people they don't want to vote anymore because of this? Because every time it's the same. Every time in the elections they tell us all these things, how great they are and how good they're going to be for our country. And when they are in power, when they are like in the Oval Office, they don't do anything anymore. They don't care about us anymore. I'm getting so tired of this as well. But I also have to give this little side note. And I said this multiple times in my videos as well. What are we going to do? Because we're 1.5 years in now. Are we going to complain the whole time? That's not going to solve anything, right? So I also I have to give this little side note. Like Nick is complaining day after day about this topic. And I agree with him. Many people feel like this. They are also so mad and they are so disappointed in this administration. That's true. I'm also one of them. But what are we going to do? For the next 2.5 years, we're going to complain every day. How is that going to solve the problems? That's not going to solve the problems. And I said this multiple times. If this administration can make America great again, you have to do it. I have to do it. We have to do it. don't even like count on this administration anymore. Don't even count on that they're gonna do anything for you. They probably don't. They don't. I don't think if they didn't do anything in the past 1.5 year, that in the next 2.5 years they're gonna put us first now. It's only becoming worse. Like now they started this war. I hope you get the point. But like I get it. Yeah. Sometimes I'm complaining about this, but it's not gonna solve anything, right? So what are we actually gonna do? I'm actually very curious. If you have a solution, put it in the comments, because we have to make America great again at some point, right? Like, we cannot have a president the whole time who just gets into office by lying, and then once he is in power, he doesn't do anything anymore. That should not be allowed. Like, how can people still support this? It's insane. It's ridiculous.
And I've been trying to convey this on the show for a long time. As somebody that was there at the beginning, how sad and tragic is that? That in 2016, Trump made us believe in America, and Trump made us believe in him. And in a word, Trump made us believe in the possible, that America could be a great country, that we could live better lives, that the best was yet to come, that things would improve, or could improve, rather than getting worse all the time inexorably, and reform is impossible, and we should probably resign ourselves to a lower quality of life than every other generation for the past 300 years. And 10 years later, now we are being told by our president to accept less. We're being told to compromise. We are being told to settle for less. We're being told, be happy with what you got. Change is impossible. It's politics. You know how it goes. We need to win the midterms. We need to appeal to the moderates. That's not politically feasible right now. And people have been made to convince themselves that this is as good as it gets. 10 years in. We're not talking 1 year in. We're not talking 2 years in. 10 years in, second administration, popular vote, electoral victory, House and Senate sweep. And we're being told to tell ourselves, well, it's better than the alternative. We're being gaslit. Trump used to say, I'm not a politician, I'm an outsider. They're all talk, no action. And now we're being told grocery prices are cheaper than ever. Gas prices are cheaper than ever. The border wall is built. The mass deportations are happening. We won the war with Iran. We're being fed. The Epstein files got released and there's nothing there. One bullshit line after another by the ultimate politician. And we're in this weird state where we know everything sucks. We know everything's fake. We know nothing is getting better. But we have to lie to ourselves that we're in a golden age, that we did it. We made America great again. It's so much better. That's what's heartbreaking. And that's what I'm trying to snap people out of, is trying to tell people, expect more, demand more, have some hope, have some belief in yourself, have some self-respect. We deserve better. We deserve better. This is our empire. Why do we go to work every day and pay our taxes? Why are we law-abiding citizens? Why do we do what we do to keep this society going? Is it so that we can accept our gradual demographic replacement, political corruption, death of our nation and civilization? Is that really why we do it? Because if that's what we have to look forward to, we should all just live completely irresponsible lives. Go on a road trip, be a hippie, go see the world, go borrow a bunch of money and don't pay it back. Go get on welfare, have more kids than you can afford, and be a white, right? I mean, if that's all that we had to look forward to, why would anybody be doing any of this? What would even be the point? If we're going to engage in politics, then let's at least dream big. Let's at least play for the jackpot. Let's play to win, not play not to lose. If we're going to play, if you're going to waste your time caring about politics, if you're going to waste your time stressing about the condition of the world, if you're going to dedicate your life to the struggle, then why not go big? Why not dream big? Why not actually stick up for yourself and your family? What is the point otherwise? Not like there's a lot of money in politics anyway for the vast majority of people. Why sacrifice if you're not doing it for a future that we actually can believe in, that we actually want? rather than more of the same. So anyway, that's the thing with Laura Loomer. I see that and I go, I don't even think people realize the gravity of it. I don't even think people realize, because they have been conditioned over time. And you have these people that have been deeply brainwashed telling themselves, well, who are we going to vote for? Who are we going to vote for? Everybody was tapped out in 2016. Everybody was totally tapped out. Well, who are we going to vote for? Vote for? Why you care about? If it's not about making the country better, then why even vote at all?
Yeah, fair point. And this is so true. And I also just tried to explain this earlier in the video, because this is very important. Because so many people, they still count on the government and they really believe that somehow they're gonna make their life better again. They're gonna make America great again. But I will talk for myself. If you had already so many examples that it just turns out that they don't make your life great again, that they don't make America great again, yeah, what you can do is pray and maybe hope that in the next elections they will care about you. But if they don't, just focus on yourself. If they can make your life great again, invest in yourself. Make sure you can make your life great again. And again, I will talk for myself, because there's nothing wrong with the people who still believe or count on the government, be my guest. But I had already too many examples that I know it's just better to focus on myself and stop counting on people who turn out that they don't really care about me. And again, I don't want to make it too fake, but you get the point. How many more examples do we need already from a government that they just do the opposite as what the people really want? That's just true. And again, I will speak for myself. But then it's better to invest in yourself, make sure you own your life, you make your life better again, than always hoping, all right, maybe next time they will make America great again, maybe next time they will make our life better again. Because if they just don't, then you always end up losing, and this is so sad. And this is also the reason why so many people don't want to vote anymore as well, because of this, because it just feels hopeless. They feel like they don't even make a difference with their vote. And again, I don't want to make it too vague, because of course you can still vote. But in my opinion, I don't even know if it still makes a difference if you're still gonna vote. Now, I really don't know. And that's already so sad that we are at this point already. But let's continue, because this is a very important topic. But yeah, I don't know.
If we get an Iran war, whether it's Kamala or Trump, if we get mass migration, whether it's Kamala or Trump, if we get a Ukraine war, whether it's Kamala or Trump, then why vote at all? Why vote at all? What is the Republicans haven't changed a damn thing. They haven't changed anything. Nothing meaningful. If it's a marginal difference, why even bother? Who are we going to vote for? I don't know. I mean, why would that even matter? If it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, why not just do something else with your Tuesday? We voted for Trump in 16 and 20 and 24 because his promise, the conceit of Trumpism was not, hey, more conservative Republican governance. It was, I will make America great again. I'm a real leader. I'm not a politician. I'm going to reform the broken system, and I'm going to deliver a real victory that you feel good about, and we're going to believe in the promise of America again. That is what he said. And I guess that was all a campaign slogan. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for an 18-year-old Nick Fuentes. You might say, oh, well, get real, grow up. Well, for an 18-year-old Nick Fuentes, and I know for a lot of other people, it wasn't a campaign slogan. We did actually believe. And there's something to be said about the power of true belief. I'm not going to squander that on whatever this is. I still believe in America. I believe in something bigger than Trump. I believe in something bigger than the Republican Party. I believe in America. I believe in our heritage. I believe in who we are as a people. And we are still looking for our leader for that movement in the future. People should be willing to open up a space for that and not go along and settle for this. Never settle.
Wow, such a powerful message again of Nick Fuentes. I really like when he talks about these topics, because this is so important and this is actually true. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not trying to glaze him or something. I don't want to be like a Nick Fuentes fanboy, but this is just true, right? And this is also the main reason why so many people, they don't want to vote anymore, because no matter if you vote left or right, it's just the same coin with two different sides. They always act like they are different. They're gonna change our country, left or right, Republican, Democrat. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. People are so tired of these politics, always acting like they're gonna be good for our country, acting like they really care about you, and when they are in power, they just don't. How is this? Let this administration be another example. They said no more wars. Look what is going on now. And again, I don't want to repeat myself the whole time, but I can just become so mad if you think about it, that an administration literally like advertised himself, or like a president advertised himself as, I'm not going to start any new wars. Like the worst decision of all the previous administration was all these wars in the Middle East. And look what we are doing now. Look what he did. Look what he did. This is like such a betrayal towards your own country, towards your own people. But again, I don't want to repeat myself the whole time, but I have to repeat myself, because never ever forget this, that we had a president who said that he would not start any new wars. Bro literally started 2 wars in 1.5 year time. What do I have to say anything else? It's ridiculous. But again, this is just my opinion. Make sure you put America first. Very important, because the GOP will change. But we as Americans, we will never change. We will always be the same. And we have to make this country great again. If Donald Trump cannot do this, we have to do this. Make America great again. Put America first. Put Americans first. Very important. But again, this is just my opinion. I'm very curious about your opinion. Do you agree with Nick on this one? Do you think Donald Trump should go, like he has to be impeached after all of this? I'm very curious about your opinion. Please share your opinion in the comments. It's very important to say. I read all comments. I even try to reply to some of your comments. So please let me know. As well, guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. If you really like these kind of videos, consider subscribing. I would appreciate it even more. And then you make sure you don't miss anything. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.